clawing our way out of our graves to bring you your weekly dose of chaos and darkness. I'm Rexy.
And I'm Lillie. And this is the Morning Report.
Hey, Mourners.
Hello.
Hi, Lillie.
Hi, darling.
How's it going?
I'm good. I'm tired.
Is it cold and snowy where you are?
No.
Really?
Was supposed to be, but it is not.
Oh.
And then it was supposed to, they were talking about canceling school tomorrow. And it's gonna, the low tomorrow is gonna be 41.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was like, my kid needs to go to school if the weather is 41 degrees.
Well, that's really cool, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But everybody was looking forward to a little bit of snow.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We only got just a little bit. They were forecasting initially that we were supposed to get 6 to 8 inches, and I was so excited because that's like snowballs, right? That's play in the snow. And instead, we ended up getting an inch. So it was enough for Nova to she's been laying and having a good time, being cold.
I was about to say, she's probably so happy.
She is so happy. Her routine right now basically is go, come see me, see whatever I'm doing, ask to be let outside, go outside, lay in the snow, wander around in the snow, dig through the snow until her paws get cold, come back inside, warm up, get a drink or a snack, warm her feet up, go back outside. Repeat all day long until bedtime.
Well, that's like this morning. It was this was yesterday. It was super cold yesterday. And as I was leaving the apartment, the dog park is right there, and a couple had their husky in the dog park, and they were trying to go home, and was not having it.
That's the best thing. It's cold. This is amazing.
So she called, I guess, her husband, boyfriend, whoever, and so he brought the car down, and they just sat in the car while the dog ran around crazy in the dog park.
I mean, it works. This is their time of year.
It was the happiest dog I have ever seen, and it was there. And I wish I could have seen it in snow, because
because you said it in snow.
That dog would have been so. I mean, it was just 30 degrees, but it was clear.
It's still nice and cold, and
that dog was they brought snacks to the gate. They were like, "Come on, let's go!" And he'd run up to the gate and grab a snack, and then bolt to the end of the dog park.
I love that. That's amazing. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm gonna try to move this mic a little bit more in front of my face. Okay. Well, I have a news story for you.
Cool.
Leo just sent it to me a minute ago. All right. So this comes to us from clickorlando.com.
That sounds legit.
So it's a Florida thing. And it was written January 5th of 2024 by digital journalist Anthony Talcott.
Can I just, before you get started, can I just tell you how fake 2024 sounds?
It really does, though. 2024. It's fucking weird.
What? How did we get here?
The 90s were 10 years ago.
Right?
It's forever going to be 10 years ago. Except they were 30 years ago.
30 years ago.
Trauma has made things go by so fast. Collective world trauma.
Oh, yeah. Just all of a sudden, I'm like, what? And then, the trauma of daily life. Just, you're like, oh, it's time to go to bed. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
All right, so tell me.
So far, speaking of how fake 2024 is, have you got wind of the headlines so far to start off this year?
Oh, I'm already done. I'm done. Nothing else.
Attacked a judge, jumped over the bench and attacked him. I think oh shit, I can't remember. I saw a whole list of things that have happened just since the first of the year, and they're bananas.
We're 2 weeks in.
Yeah, it's only the 15th.
We're just 2 weeks in. We got 50 more weeks of this, and it's gonna be crazy.
Yep. So, To add to that list,
Jesus.
these Florida monkeys could give you herpes. Here's where they've been found. Nearly 200 rhesus macaques at Silver Springs State Park. When it comes to Florida's wildlife, the first animals that come to mind are usually alligators, sharks, or manatees. However, monkeys are also a staple within Central Florida, according to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. These monkeys, called rhesus macaques, were originally brought to Florida by the manager of a glass-bottom boat operation who released 6 on an island in the Silver River to attract tourists. So once again, people let's fuck with the ecosystem to attract tourists because that's a good idea. It always ends well. However, the monkeys swam away from the island into the surrounding forest, breeding and increasing their numbers over the years. While the population of monkeys in the Silver Springs State Park has reached as high as 400 at some points, trapping and removal efforts have kept them from getting out of hand. As of 2015, the FWC reported that there were around 190 inside the park. Started with 6. Now we have 190.
Ew, they're just inbred.
There's so many. Yeah, only 6. Nowadays, these monkeys can be found throughout the state, though the FWC says these sightings likely stem from the group of monkeys at Silver Springs. Aside from environmental concerns, these monkeys pose a threat to public health, as rhesus macaques in Florida have tested positive for herpes B. Yay.
Of course. Why not?
Yeah. The CDC states that this viral infection is extremely rare, but it can lead to severe brain damage or even death. The virus can be transmitted by these monkeys through bites, scratches, or contact with bodily fluids. In addition, these monkeys may become aggressive when fed by people, so the FWC passed a rule in 2017 prohibiting locals from feeding any wild monkeys in the state. According to the FWC's Rhesus Monkey Tracker, the following counties have credible sightings of these monkeys outside of the core population. Okay, and I'm going to read you a list now, okay?
Oh, Jesus.
In Marion County, there have been 92 sightings. 1 was found dead. In Franklin County, there have been 22 sightings. In Seminole County, there's been 21. 1 was captured. In Orange County, there's been 19. Lake County has 14. St. Johns County has 9. Pasco County has 8. 1's been captured. Pinellas County has been 7. Alachua County has 5. Putnam County has 5. Wauchula County has 5. Citrus County has 3. Polk County has 3. Hernando County has 2. Sumter County has 2. Volusia County has 2. Flagler County has 2. Has 1, I'm sorry. Gilchrist County has 1. Osceola County has 1. And Sarasota County has 1. So these monkeys are all over the fucking state. Like, they're just...
I just pulled up a map. Like a county map.
Yeah?
And they are all
Can you
over.
share it? Is it good enough to...
Yeah. Hold on. Maybe. If I can remember what I'm doing. This one. Right? Yes. Okay.
There we go. Wow. Okay.
So yeah,
Those
there's...
other counties. The FWC provides these tips for rhesus macaques encounters. Never approach or offer food to wild monkeys. If a monkey is encountered, keep children close and pets leashed. Dispose of uneaten food and garbage in closed trash containers. If bitten or scratched by a wild monkey, immediately wash the wound and seek medical attention. Call the National Bee Virus Resource Center for emergency information. If you observe a wild monkey that poses a threat to people, call the FWC's Wildlife Alert Hotline. Any rhesus macaque observations seen outside of the core population near Silver Springs should be reported by calling the Exotic Species Hotline or by clicking here, and it gives a link in the article. So yeah, they're just all over the place and apparently infected with with herpes B. So yay.
Is that cold sore herpes or like genital herpes?
I don't know. Leo.
Hold on, I got you. And of course, one comes up: herpes B virus, macaque monkey. Oh, in humans, B virus disease is extremely rare but often fatal.
Oh no. Okay.
The mortality rate is over 80% in untreated individuals, and neurological something are common in those who survive.
Wow. Okay. So it's not just the monkeys will give you cold sores and make you a little bit miserable. You'll probably die, or you might die. It'll fuck you up. Okay.
Huh.
Stay away from the monkeys. Just admire them from afar. Don't touch.
Yeah. Oy.
That's yikes. Okay.
I was okay with that whole article if like it was just gonna be like a cold sore.
Apparently it's fatal. Yeah. I'm not familiar with my types of herpes, apparently.
So since B virus was identified in 1932, only 50 people have been documented to have the infections. So in almost 100 years, only 50 people have been documented, and only 21 of them have died.
Okay. But these monkeys are interested in changing that.
Yeah. And they're very interested. And it's an antiviral treatment, which are not fun from what I've been told.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't. Okay. Well, yeah, just stay away from the monkeys. Admire wildlife from afar. Don't interact with them. The buffalo will gore you. The elk will gore you and stampede you. The elephants will stomp on you. The monkeys will give you herpes. The bears are not cuddly, even though their ears are adorable and they are teddy bear shaped. Do not just admire the wildlife from far away. Take a zoom lens.
And as Oklahoma wildlife people like to tell everybody, leave them alone. Don't go
Don't.
to the mountain lion.
The Oklahoma Wildlife Department I love
they're
their
fantastic.
Yeah, they're so fun.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure if I was near safety, like if I could get to safety before the mountain lion got to me, it'd be a whole different ball game than if I'm just out in the middle of the woods and a mountain lion came up on me.
I don't like it.
Like if I was inside my house and one was on my porch, I'd be like, oh my God, look, come here, kitty.
Yeah, just get close to I just want to see you through the window, and then you can go about your business, and I won't become your lunch. That'd be great.
So, you've heard us talking about a secret story that Leo and I have been talking. Maybe I don't know the order that these episodes come out in anymore. We don't record in any sort of. We just kind of pick one.
Yes, this episode is going to come out in
sometime
this week. I don't remember. I have to look at the calendar, but I think this episode will drop on this Wednesday. We drop on Wednesday, right?
Yeah, like in 2 days.
Yeah, this episode will drop in 2 days.
Anyway, I think we've talked about a secret episode. Here it is! Hooray! This is it.
Yeah, I've been dying to know what this is because no one will tell me.
Because I suck at keeping secrets, and I was like, and every time you're like, we got to start planning episodes. I'm like, no. Don't.
So we're about to find out why.
Yeah. So we were in Florida with the herpes monkeys, and now we're going to travel up to Canada.
Okay.
And talk about the monster of Miramichi, Alan Legier.
Okay. I don't know who this is.
Yay!
Oh, yeah.
So I found there's a show, I think on Peacock or Discover. I think it's Peacock. And it's Suburban Screams. And it's like real life scary things in your neighborhood.
Oh.
And there was an episode on him. And I immediately texted Leo and I was like, write the damn episode.
So, was this guy, is he a serial killer, or was he like a
Serial
werewolf?
killer. Serial killer.
Okay. Just wanted to know, like, which direction this episode was gonna go. Ooh,
Serial killer.
I've never heard of this guy, so I
hadn't
just got
either.
chills a little bit, but, like, let's go.
And this episode was so good.
Yeah.
Like I said, I immediately, like, I don't even think it was finished. I was like, Leo, write this episode.
Okay.
All right. So Alan Legier was born on Friday the 13th in February of 1948.
Okay. Of course.
he yeah, obviously. He was born in Chatham Head, a very small town in the northern part of New Brunswick, Canada, along the Miramichi River. When he was growing up, the people in northern New Brunswick were mostly poor, and the town of Chatham was no exception. Many lived in desperate poverty and often went without. Poverty breeds crime, and Chatham was a place you didn't want to get caught after dark. So, Alan was the fourth child of Louise Legier, a woman who rented rooms of their family home out to make ends meet. Louise often liked to have sex with the people who rented, as one does.
Sure.
An
extra handful of bucks is
yeah.
never a bad thing. Wait, you said he was the fourth, so, like, was there only 4 kids, or were there more after him? Or?
I have no idea. Leo, you did the research. Only 4, so he was the baby.
Okay.
And one of these people that rented a room ended up being Alan's father. But he skipped town before Alan was born and never meeting his son. And unfortunately, the walls of this house were very thin, so the Legier kids grew up hearing everything their mom got up to. Yeah.
No. That's
and especially
traumatize the children.
And I think he was the only boy, so like there's the sense of protection for the women in your family, I guess. I don't know, I wasn't there, but like hearing that happen to your mom, I can imagine did some things to your brain.
Right. I mean, and over and over and over again, just like
Oh, he had a brother. Okay, so there was 2 girls and 2 boys. So Alan also shared a room with his sisters growing up, but like way past the age where that should be acceptable. So he was a teenage boy watching his older teenage sisters dressing and undressing all the time, probably making a lot of healthy connections with sex.
Yeah. This is, I mean, just from the beginning, this is a really bad start for this.
Yeah. And some sources say he would secretly masturbate while watching them, but nothing saying anything ever happened beyond that with his sisters.
Were they all sharing a room just because there was like no space? Or?
Yeah, it was a small house.
Okay.
Growing up in school, he had a reputation as a smart but kind of odd kid and got mixed reactions from classmates and teachers alike. Alan had an artistic, angsty vibe going for him. He wasn't quick to make friends and got into a lot of fights. As a kid, he was on the scrawny side, but as a teen, he started working out all the time and eventually got pretty swole. Really, Leo? I had to say swole. I should read these things before, but I don't, because I like those moments.
I do too. I'm glad that you don't. I'm glad.
Which boosted his self-esteem and showed his hometown he wasn't somebody to be messed with. Alan's life of crime also started in his teens when he started stealing little things from shops around town. But as with a lot of kids who grew up like Alan, he could have gone many different ways from this point. One thing that really stands out as a harbinger of bad things to come was the death of his older brother. One night, his brother, who was 15 at the time, was walking across a bridge that crossed the Miramichi River when he was run over by a truck and killed.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Alan was deeply scarred by his brother's death, and as you would expect, so was his mom. She went into a deep depression at the loss of her son, and unfortunately, Louise didn't hold Alan any closer in light of the tragedy. Because of Alan's growing trouble at school, Louise began to resent Alan and saw him as more of a burden than anything else.
That's helpful.
So we're going to start off by feeling really bad for this guy. Just really
this poor
bad.
Kid. And like, how old is he at this point? Like, he's still in school, right?
I mean,
like,
he's little. I mean, if his brother was 15 and he's the baby, so he's little. I mean, not like 7, but he's little.
Okay.
Um.
So at this point, he's not a monster. He's not a serial killer. He's a little kid.
He's whose mom fucked him up. She told Alan that she wished it was him.
Is there a way to like insulate or something? Like insulate the walls, or I mean, like, just
Nobody has money. That all costs money that they don't have. If I've got to rent out rooms in my house to make money, and then I'm also sleeping with people to make maybe a little extra, that money's probably going towards keeping the lights on, keeping the power on, keeping food in the refrigerator. Yeah.
I just hate it. I don't.
So dear old mom told Alan that she wished it was him who had died instead of his brother.
Motherfucker.
So being rejected by his own mom snowballed into being even more of a troublemaker in the community, and so his reputation soured all around.
That's completely unsurprising.
Yes.
Yeah.
So not a lot is known about his life immediately after school, but in the beginning he was chomping at the bit to get away from Chatham. We know he moved from New Brunswick to Ontario, where he became a mechanic, and in the late 70s he was also a car salesman living near Ottawa. Somewhere in that mix he got married and had some kids of his own.
Did he stick around for them?
Well, we're gonna get there.
Okay.
He cheated a lot.
Oh, cool.
And his wife left him.
Yeah, good.
And for whatever reason, he ended up back in the Miramichi by the mid-'80s. And it was here and now that he would feel a growing need to take vengeance on his hometown.
Vengeance on his hometown?
Yes.
For what? Why?
For making him live the life that he had.
Oh, geez.
Oh, you have no idea. None whatsoever.
I'm already annoyed. All right, let's go.
Yeah, well, right now, I'm not annoyed at him. I'm annoyed at his hometown, so I know where he's coming from. I can get it. But I know how much of a monster this man is, and you have no idea where this is going to go.
I don't. Right now, I just know he's a douchebag because he cheated on his wife.
And you're not going to be happy about it.
Okay.
So, Legier became a bit of a drifter when he moved back. And he started breaking into places and stealing things. And on top of stealing, he liked to break into people's homes while the people were home and asleep. He liked to stand at their bed and wait for them to wake up just to see their shock and fear.
I don't like that.
Sometimes, if they didn't wake up, he'd go around the house and rearrange things so they'd know someone had been there without their knowledge. Sometimes.
The Manson family did shit like this. They called it creepy crawling.
Yeah. Or sometimes he'd pile clothes on top of them while they slept and then leave to get into people's heads and terrorize them.
What the fuck?
Like, if I woke up covered in my clothes, but like nothing, like I knew that I hadn't been like raped or touched or anything.
Right.
That's, to me, seems like it would be a lot creepier.
Right.
Like there was somebody here.
Immediately would go to like ghosts, I think. I think my first thought would be like, oh, cool. The house is haunted.
Oh, you're so cute. So cute. No, it's ghosts. There's nobody walking around my house at night.
No, I would immediately assume ghosts, and then when I figured out the house wasn't haunted, then I would freak out and think that it was people.
Oh my god. So once he even cut the underwear off of a sleeping woman when she didn't wake up. No doubt he created some bad sleep disorders.
What the fuck? Yeah. Yeah.
And he loved seeing stories about the crimes he'd committed on like the TV and in the paper. And he liked knowing that people were afraid of him. So
a lot of like serial killers and just people of that nature really like the attention. Like they really like knowing that they've caused chaos and mayhem in a community and are just terrifying people. Like I was just not long ago listening to something on BTK, and he did the same thing. Like when the police didn't talk about him, he would like send them letters and be like, "Hey, I don't know if you've noticed, but
I did this.
Yeah, these are all me." That's pretty common. Like they really like the attention.
Yeah. So I'm gonna out myself here. I am not a serial killer. Never thought about it. Don't have any intention. But the idea of walking into someone's house and like innocently fucking with them is appealing. Like being that home invader that like takes something inconvenient, like the batteries out of your remote.
It's creepy. If a ghost did it, like that'd be okay.
We are so fucking lucky that I don't live there anymore.
We would constantly just be sneaking around the house, like stolen all the caps from like my dry erase markers.
But then I would mail you new ones just so they weren't ruined.
There's a horde of like my missing stuff just like in Lily's house. Just like.
But can you imagine how much fun that would be, though, just to convince you that there was a ghost in your house, and then mail you all the missing stuff back all at once?
That'd be amazing. But like, I think it's only fun if like it's your friend. You don't like the idea of it being stranger. Like,
Leo says, "I'm going to make a surprise trip to stand over your bed in the middle of the night."
Do it, Leo.
All right.
Remember, she has an attacked child, though.
I do have an attacked child. No, I won't show up. I'll send Freya to sneak in. And it'll be goblin chaos. Just goblin chaos. Anyway. We're never going to get through this.
It's already been 30 minutes.
I know. So, the Catholic Church had a large presence in the Miramichi area, and Legier was known to rail against the corruption of the church and against how it sucked up a bunch of the wealth in the Miramichi. He also liked to quote satanic verses to make people uncomfortable.
Again, just like trying to get attention, right? Like, people freak them out.
So, at this time, Legier lived 90 minutes south of Chatham. And in time, Legier's crimes escalated to playing with fire, and he learned to do a really neat trick. He would break into places, take and do what he wanted, then he'd take a book, open it, make a tent out of it on the floor, lay a rug over the top of the book, and then light the book pages on fire.
Now we're burning houses down.
The rug was used to make sure only a little bit of oxygen would get in, and so the fire would burn slowly. The fire would eventually grow enough to destroy any evidence of him being there, but would give him enough time to flee the scene so he could have an alibi by the time the fire really got going.
What the fuck? Now he's burning people alive now.
At this point, the police in Chatham suspected Alan, but he would always be at home 90 minutes away by the time the fire was reported.
So are people dying? Or
No. So what he's doing is he's creating I don't have a book. Okay, so
I mean, I can picture it. I'm
Yeah,
just like, is
so,
the house
like,
being
no.
engulfed by the time?
the flame is burning so slowly
Okay.
that in the 90 minutes it takes him to leave and get home, the fire is barely starting to escape the rug,
Okay.
thus setting off alarms.
Okay. So
setting
people are
off-
waking up and then being like, "What
Yes.
the fuck? Our house is on fire." Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, on the Legier crimes checklist, breaking and entering, stealing, and arson so far. But unfortunately, that list still had boxes left unchecked.
Oh, cool. Okay. We're gonna.
This is where the raping and the murdering started.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I was so excited for that part.
So, on the night,
That's so gross. Like, how come nobody's caught him and like beat the shit out of him by now?
because he has an alibi. They can't prove that it's him. Yes, somebody should have beat the shit out of him a long time ago. But remember, he was so swole
Ugh.
that he was intimidating.
Oh, okay, fine.
So, on the night of June 21st, 1986, the convenience store owned by Mary and John Glendenning, that's too many N's all at once, was broken into by Alan and two accomplices in their late teens, Scott Curtis and Todd Matchett. Curtis and Matchett had both committed a few robberies by this time, but nothing like what they were about to do. As Mary, 64, and John, 66, were locking up for the night, Legier and his crew cut power to the building, which also included their apartment above the shop. Legier barged in, demanding all their money and access to their safe. They gave what money they had to Legier, but John told him over and over that there was no safe. Alan didn't believe him, so he started beating an answer out of John. Matchett and Curtis started beating Mary for an answer and looking for a safe. Legier mercilessly beat John unconscious and strangled him, and then moved on to Mary. All three beat, choked, and violently raped Mary multiple times until she passed out as well. Then Legier and crew made a run for it. When Mary came to, she was barely alive.
Oh,
She was-
shit, she lived through this.
She was slumped over face first in a toilet with a scarf tied around her neck that was used to choke her. Mary was able to crawl upstairs to call for help. Paramedics said that the couple had been so viciously and brutally beaten that their faces were barely recognizable as faces. They managed to save Mary, but it was too late for John.
Fuck. It's amazing that she lived through that.
Yes. I didn't say this was going to be fun. I just thought it was interesting.
It is interesting. It is interesting, and it's a story I do want to hear. But
It's not fun.
wow, holy fuck, fuck this guy.
So now we're starting to check off more boxes. Now all that's left is murder. Oh no, murder was checked. So we're good.
Murder
We
was
checked them
checked.
all up.
Yep.
He has done it all. It didn't take
Not
long.
kidnapping. He hasn't kidnapped anybody, has he?
Oh, not yet.
Okay,
Doesn't
we
take
haven't
long.
checked that one yet.
Okay. It didn't
I feel
take
like
long.
we should have a tally going on the screen.
Murder, rape,
Yep.
rape, kidnapping. Okay, I just need to make this clear. Rexy and I do not take this stuff lightly. It's just sometimes when we read these stories, they're heavy and we have to make jokes or we'll cry.
I would imagine that a lot of you guys out there understand and probably deal with dark shit the same way. But yeah, we're not like happy about this. We're not.
Oh no.
We don't think it's funny. It's this or like scream or cry or
Yeah.
I don't.
And if
don't
we
know.
start crying, you're never going to hear the end of it. So
And then we probably won't come back
yeah.
because we'll just be like, I don't want to cry on. Anyway, yeah, we're not assholes. We're not happy about this stuff.
No.
We're just coping.
We just think it's interesting to an extent. So, It didn't take long for eyewitnesses to pick out the three for their crimes that night, and soon all three were arrested, convicted, and sentenced to life in prison.
Good.
During his trial, Legier managed to pick his handcuffs and escape the courtroom, but was chased down and brought back fairly quickly.
Oh, good. Okay.
Matchett was eventually paroled, but Curtis was still behind bars when he died in 2019. Legier went to serve his sentence in a maximum security penitentiary in the Miramichi area, where he was said to have a Jekyll and Hyde personality. He was a model prisoner and kept the guards on his good side, and carefully chose when to show his temper to his fellow inmates. Not that he cared to make a good impression on them, because he had no intention of spending the rest of his life behind bars. Legier started secretly dripping his own urine into his ears in hopes that it would cause a raging infection.
Oh.
And soon,
go to the hospital.
It did just that. And since the prison didn't have the resources to treat such an infection, Legier would need to be taken to a hospital close by. Alan was prepared for the opportunity they gave him. He had a lockpick and a cigarette. The guards led him inside the hospital, and since he got along so well with the guards and never gave them trouble, they allowed Alan to use the bathroom without being accompanied inside. Here, Alan used the lockpick.
He's still he is. What the fuck?
See, you thought we were going to end happy here. No,
we're not.
Nope. We're not. So he used the lockpick to remove his ankle shackles and handcuffs. And then he retrieved the shank that he'd fashioned out of a collapsible antenna he'd ripped off a TV in prison. Alan had hidden it up his butt in preparation for his escape. Alan came out of the bathroom wielding his makeshift stabbing utensil and threatened the guards, who only had clubs to defend themselves. Still, they tried to stop him, but Legier managed to escape to the parking lot. He spotted a woman getting into her car and ran towards her. Legier pushed his way inside the driver's side and made the woman slide over to the passenger seat. The woman, named Peggy Olive, had just checked herself out of the hospital and was looking to go home.
Oh, fuck.
Alan held the shiv to Peggy's neck, and she was terrified. Alan punched the gas, and they sped away from the hospital. Legier gave her the Jekyll and Hyde treatment to keep her unsettled. Once they were on the outskirts of town, Legier pulled over and told Peggy to get out, promising her that he wouldn't damage her car. And Alan kept that promise, only driving a couple more miles before ditching the car. The hospital was in the town he was living in when he committed the arsons and the murder, so he knew the area well.
He let her live that.
Let her live, didn't touch her.
That's cool. That's
yay! Good job, Alan.
Just looking for something happy here.
Soon, roadblocks, helicopters, and bloodhounds were on his trail, but they never could track Alan down. At first, they thought maybe he had escaped west to Montreal or east to Halifax, since he was well known and easily identifiable in the area. Don't sound clip that, Leo.
What? Oh, good job, Ellen. Oh, no.
After we just made a speech about how seriously we take this, all you're going to hear is me going, good job, Alan. Great. Awesome. Thanks.
Leo has too much power.
You're fired. It's going to do me any good.
It doesn't help, no.
Okay. But soon there were once again reports of break-ins around the Miramichi, and with Legier's signature moves of moving random things to weird spots and seeing someone had been inside their house and had eaten their food.
Food's expensive, motherfucker. Come on.
There was a period of 7 months where police knew Legier was hiding out in the surrounding forests of New Brunswick, but finding him in the dense woods was next to impossible. By the end of a month's time after escaping, Legier was ready to risk everything for his bloodlust again. Legier still felt the hate his murder trial generated from the community that had raised him, and now he was back to finish what he started.
He's slipped away so many fucking times. This is stupid.
Part 2 won't get any better.
Oh, cool.
Yay!
I'm so glad it doesn't. Stop. Motherfucker. How did they just let him run out of... There was 2 of them.
He had a butt shiv, like...
But there were 2 of them. Like, come on.
But he had it like one of those extendable... Like, they couldn't get close. It was a butt shiv.
Oh
okay,
my
dude,
god.
But
Okay.
dude, what would you do if a man that you knew, like, that was nice, like, flipped the switch and came at you
Oh yeah, I'd be
with
really confused.
a stabbing utensil that he had up his butt? Like,
And this
I'm
guy,
not
yeah,
touching that one.
all the guards thought he was like model prisoner or something, right?
Yeah. And so you're just thinking he's having a bad day. This ear infection must be bad. Like, let's not. Yeah. No. Yeah. No thanks.
Leo says 80s antenna butt shiv, so you know it was huge.
Oh my god. An
That's
extendable.
true if it's an 80s antenna.
That's all I got for right now.
Okay.
I'll keep going next time.
Okay, we're gonna take a break.
Next time on the morning report, we may
The end
cry.
of this fucking motherfucker.
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah. As of right now, I think he is still alive.
Ah.
No, he is dead.
Good. Okay, so spoiler alert.
He is dead.
Motherfucker.
I feel like I'm just gonna go ahead and give you some sort of happy ending ahead of time. He is dead.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. So, that was an episode.
That
You
was
can't
an
say it was a
episode.
fun episode, but it was an episode.
What's gonna happen
Ah,
is it's gonna
so mad
look
about
like it was a fun episode.
Yeah,
Don't get fooled
it's not.
by Leo's editing skills.
Sound. It's not fun. He's a
He's a bad man.
bad man. Yep. Okay, so I guess come back next week for
Next time
part 2, the end of it.
with the 2 of us and this guy.
Is part 2 the end of it, or is there another one after?
Oh no, part 2 is the end of it.
Okay, so come back for part 2 and the finale of
Yay!
I'm very mad about. And then I'm very happy to be hearing the story of, and that I am very mad about having had happen. That I don't know how to say that, but I'm mad that it happened.
I'm mad that it happened, but I'm
Glad to hear
happy to be learning about it. I don't know.
I don't know if happy is the... let's just go.
Yeah, let's just go.
This has been the morning report.
The morning report.